You might be wondering why my desk looks like it does. Well, I had started making some wax seals, and I thought, well, maybe people would want to know how to do this. So this is what I've been trying to make here. And I promised a while back that I would do a tutorial on how to make these little wax seals. And so I figured, what better day than today? So this is what we're gonna do. Now, I'm using, instead of the wax that comes with these little wax seal stamp things, this one's a fleur-de-lis. Can you see that? Yeah. Which I have found that wax sometimes over time will break down and crack and crumble. And as a crafter, you don't want to do that. You want something that's gonna, you know, last a while. So I thought, hot glue, why not? So I'm gonna show you using this one how I do that. And I'm just gonna squeeze out a nice sized dollop of hot glue, and this is glass that I'm using because you want it to be able to peel off. And you're gonna take this and smush it down just a little bit. You don't want it to hit glass, you just want it to be like halfway through. Now, let's say you don't have one of these little cool things. You can use metal buttons. You see how I just tied a string onto the back of the button? You see that? So it's just a little metal button. Or this is a just a little, like a necklace type thing. Try not to use anything that has too many holes. I've found that that's not a good thing. But even though this has little holes, there's a way of keeping it from getting stuck in the glue, and I'm going to show you that right now. So we're going to take some more hot glue, and that's a pretty big butterfly, so we're going to make our dollop a little bigger, like that. And when we take our necklace, which has just got little indentations, there's not too many holes in it, I'm going to use the back end of a paintbrush here. I'm going to hold this string up. Hope you all can see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can't push this back a little bit. I knew that was going to happen. This thing, these little ones don't like to stand up very well. Okay, so using the back end of a paintbrush, and you let this dry till it's not cold but just warm, and just press lightly and hold this string up. Don't, if it falls down into the glue, then it's, and this is to help you pull it out, so you need to have something tied to it. So I'll just lay that there, and then we'll do a button. So same thing as the first one, good sized dollop of hot glue. It's got glue all over my electrical cord for my phone. Not good. All right, we're gonna let that cool off just a titch, and then we're gonna, this has a nice little handle on the back, that little part, so, but if it doesn't, you know, just use the handle on your paintbrush, and then we're just gonna press it down like that. And again, don't hit glass because that makes them too thin. We don't want to do that. Now the hot glue I'm using is all-purpose hot glue sticks. And these are just little tiny, you know, ones that go in the hot glue gun. But yeah, it's usable in all types of, it says used with dual, low and high temperature glue guns. So it has like a rubbery consistency when you're done with it. When it dries, it has a very rubbery consistency. So we're gonna let these cool off, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back. They're dry to decent. They're not hot anymore. This one is still a little bit warm, but this one should be cool enough to pull off. See? It just kind of pops right off. And then because we're using glass, this, just using my fingernail, kind of just peels right off the glass, sort of. It works better if you don't let them sit too long, because that's not good either. There's like a happy between. Come on, you can do it. And it's off. There we go. And that's the fleur-de-lis. So you see I have some over here that I've already pre-done. And see, that just pulls right out. Now this one gave me a little bit of a fit earlier. Well, that's not good. Okay, when that happens, if it happens, it's okay. We'll just peel it up and then peel it off the back. Like that. There we go. Yay. And see, I can still use this. I'll just use it, press it down with the paper. Oh, that one came out really good too. All right, so peel this one up. See how if you don't leave them sit too long, they peel right up. That's a nice little one too. All right, so we're gonna move this somewhere. Alrighty, and then bring this into shot. Now, because it's hot glue, it's see-through, and in order to get this pretty, oops, come here, I'm using just folk art and what is this? Anita's all-purpose, and I'm using metallics because I like the way the metallic looks, but you can use regular flat paint as well. Let's put some more paint out because this is all dried up. So we want that, like the old-fashioned, old-timey, you know, that original wax look, which primarily was red, unless you were like really rich and then you'd have like different colored waxes, but the majority was always like a real interesting red. But I like the metallics, that's me. But sometimes these take 1 and 2, you know, 2 or 3 coats just to get that look that you really want, because they are see-through, so you've got to go over them a couple times. And then you have an actual seal. See, that looks good. And I will show you how we can use them on our, you can use them on envelopes, you can use them on journals, you can use them pretty much anywhere that you would use a regular, where did oh, the gold, yeah, I gotta put more gold out. It needs a second coat. I think we'll do this butterfly here too, because it came out really pretty. I'm gonna do that one in purple, of course. Okay, so this, I already put 1 coat of gold on this, so this one's gonna just take a little bit more. You can almost see that little hole in the center there. It's because I went too deep with, when I pushed the button in to the wax, it hit bottom. So don't push it down all the way till you hit glass. You just want it to be halfway through. Like that. See, I like the copper. The copper really comes out good. But let's try some purple on this butterfly. And you can really see the And you want to make sure you get all the little nooks and crannies. You do not want to leave anything uncoated because then it just looks fake. But I'm going to show you how you can use these. Once you've made a bunch up, you can just store them in a little cup or something, a little storage envelope or something like that, and have them to use whenever you want. And you could even dry brush another color over this too if you wanted to, because they lend themselves to that because they have that raised, like these little raised lines here. So we could let's try that. Use a little bit of, well, let's use a dry brush. That's the whole point, dry brushing method. So, or we could just use a finger and just, there we go, like that. So that's kind of a two-tone. Isn't that pretty? That came out really good. So now you're probably wondering, okay, but that's acrylic paint, won't it rub off? Well, yes, it could, but we're going to coat ours with a multi-purpose sealer so that it keeps the paint on, so you won't have that issue. So let's wipe over our brush again. This just just a wee bit, and we can go over this red one since it's already dry. And then let it dry, and voila, just like that. We'll do this gold one too, the copper one. First you got to get in all those little crevices so that it, you know, if you got paint down in there, you gotta want to make sure it's sealed too. Fiddly little things. Okay, and we're gonna let these dry, and here we go. We'll let those two dry, and then when we come back, I will show you how to use them. And I'm back. So these are all nice and dry now and usable. So I'm going to show you the ways you can use them. Besides just using them as, you know, decorations on the fronts of things, which is great. I mean, they look fantastic. They actually can have a purpose also. I think y'all have, yeah, this journal here is, I'm almost done with it. I can't wait to be finished. Let me see. The center of each signature has got these envelopes, and I think I've shown you all these, how I did these butterfly closures on fronts of envelopes. I will link the description over here for that. But this is basically the idea we're going to go for. So, and if you ever want to flip through of this journal, I would love to do that for you. So, here's an envelope that I made, and I forget whose kit this was. The little bee kit. I can't remember, and if I figure it out, I'll put information up. But what I want to do is make a little closure for this so that it can be tucked in, you know, but I wanted something special. So I thought, well, this gold one would look pretty. So I think that would look really nice right there. So that's what we're going to basically do, is we're going to make this into a envelope closure, which is kind of like what it would be used for in, you know, back in the day when they used these things. So this one does have a little hole in it, so I'm going to use that as my spot. I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac because it's a silicone glue and it will adhere to this wax pretty well. I mean, you can use whatever glue you want, but that's what I'm going to use today. And what's nice about these little things too is that they're because they're wax, they're very pliable. So this isn't going to be like unable to open. You'll be able to, ooh, I got glue on the flap. No, 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 no. There we go. So you'll actually, you would be able to pull that back. I don't know if you can see that, where it bends. So we'll let that dry. But once this is dry, it'll tuck under there just like that, but still flap up. So yeah, there we go. So I kind of like the way that looks. Let's do something else. Here's an envelope that I made that holds ephemera. It's like I've got stickers and torn up doilies, and in this pouch I've got some more ephemera that I've cut up and some die cuts. And it's so chunky now, it doesn't want to stay closed. So I figured we'd use one of these on the front of here. I really like the purple butterfly. I think that one will work really well. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to add a little piece of material for underneath of it. Kind of really make it look real. So I'm going to put that down and we're going to glue this little piece of material here. I got this in that Happy Meal from Italy. So I'm going to glue this to the envelope. Let's fold it in half first and glue it. Fold it so it stays put, like so. Yeah, come on, you. And then kind of in the middle here, just a little bit of glue there, and glue this down. Strings everywhere, it's all blue to me. Okay, and then we can take our wax seal, and being this is a butterfly, I think I'll do it the same way I do my other butterflies. Turn it, flip it upside down, and use the bottom wings as my guide. So like so. I gotta quit saying that. And then we already know it's going to sit here. So there we go. We'll let that sit there and dry for a second. Close up my glue. And come on, I know you want to stay closed. You might have to add a little bit of glue. Oh, look at the paint still wet. Ew, 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 ew. And it was down the nooks and crannies. I thought it was dry. Oh well. Yeah, we're gonna have to add some glue here. So, bring back out the Fabri-Tac because this stuff dries quick. And lift that up a little bit. I just didn't put enough glue is what it was. There we go. That should do it. I've got glue all over my fingers. As one thing about this process, it's a little messy when it comes to your fingers. Okay. Now, let's hold our breath. Pull that back just enough. Do I have too much glue on there now? It should be just enough. I keep getting glue and paint all over me. Oh, there you go. All done. So yeah, I think these are very easy to do, and they come out just, I mean, look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? I just love the way they look, especially this one. That's my favorite. Oh, so pretty. So yeah, how to make a hot wax seal to close your envelopes or just to decorate on things. Here's what we've done today. So yeah, I really like them. And I hope this was, you know, of some use to you guys. If you got something from it, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can find out some more cool little tricks and tips and art hacks and things like that. So until my next video, I sure do love you all bunches. Bye.